can think of culture as sort of the patterns of behavior that you see. The molecules are sloshing around or they're totally rigid. You can think of structure as what's underneath. It's hot or it's cold. It drives those patterns of behavior. Inside a company, you have a very political culture. We have a very innovative culture. If you celebrate and reward rank, you're going to get a very political culture. Everybody's shooting their neighbor down to get promoted. If you celebrate and reward intelligent risk-taking, you will get a very innovative culture. And here's why it matters. No amount of singing Kumbaya or asking employees to hold hands and watch 2-hour movies about brotherhood, as anyone who's been inside a large company knows, is going to do much to change culture. Just like yelling at the molecules in a block of ice isn't going to melt that block of ice. But a small change in temperature can get the job done. A small change in temperature can melt steel. Now, where this gets really interesting is that once we understand this transition, we can begin to manage it. For example, when it snows overnight, what do you sprinkle on your sidewalk? Salt. Why? Because it makes the molecules less sticky, more likely to slosh around. It just lowered the binding energy. So what happens is when you wake up in the morning and step on your sidewalk, you wet your shoe in a puddle instead of slipping on the sidewalk and ending up in the hospital. Once you understand this transition, once you understand these dynamics, you can begin to tease out those small changes in structure you can make that give you more innovative teams and companies. So now it sounds like a nice metaphor so far, but you can actually work this out in a lot more detail. You can write down an equation that captures this. What are the incentives and how does it change at a certain size of company? Everything will whoosh, flip, and then what are the control parameters? How do you adjust that? Just like what is the equivalent of sprinkling salt in water? Those are the small things you can change.